If you drop in the middle of you talking, like I'll say something, but it'll make no sense that, oh, Unoclay stopped talking. I guess he just got murdered halfway through a sentence or
Yeah.
something.
Just say, oh, Unoclay's dead again.
Yeah.
Bye. Fuck him. Peace out.
It's funny, my mom always hates when I said someone's dead. Like, she'll be like, what happened to your dad? Did he go with something? I don't know, he's dead or something. And she's like, oh, that's so terrible. I'm like, calm down.
God.
Like, who cares? Just like, I just say it
Dead.
like, because it's the most exaggerated thing. I'm like, I don't know, he's dead or something. I don't
Oh my
know.
God. I would probably be disturbed by that comment myself. Like, wow. Cool.
Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host, Matt, and with me this week is Eli,
Hello.
Mike.
I don't have anything funny, so what up?
Well, keep trying. And Unoclay.
Been in the car for about 18 hours this weekend to play some video games, and now I'm here and delirious.
Jeez. Alright, so I guess we'll start off with what we've been playing. I kind of want to keep this short because there's a lot of Nintendo news and whatnot, but I haven't really played much. I tried out the Badge Arcade that finally came out, so
Oh my god, a scam.
yeah, it's called the Badge Center in Japan, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason it took a year to come over here. I think it's kind of neat, but yeah, I also think it's like a scam and pointless. So basically what it is you have a crane game, and instead of like plushed animals that you collect through the crane games, because there's ones that grab things and pick them and put them in a hole, and just a bunch of variations. But basically you can get stickers that you can put on your 3DS menu. You can also get some themes, and then ones that replace like the actual app icons, like the eShop icon and internet and all that stuff. And they let you have a couple of tries. I think they give you like 5 free tries to start off. And then if you want to get more, you can do a practice thing like once a day and maybe get one free try. Sometimes they'll give you out for free. But the other way is you buy plays. So like an arcade, you pay X amount of dollars to get plays. So you pay, I don't know what it is in the States. It's probably $1.
It is a dollar.
Yeah, and it's inflated for Canada, so it's $1.29 here for 5 plays, which, I mean, I guess it's technically cheaper than an arcade, but it's just pointless because, like, oh, you pay money to get a chance to get, like, an image you find on the internet that's just sticking on your menu. It just seems really pointless, I guess. I mean, like, I'll play it because I kind of like the crane game aspect to it, kind of fun, or find it fun, but I don't see a need to pay for any money for it at all.
It's a stupid phone game, and they told us they wouldn't make those. I'm butthurt with this game. Actually, I'm butthurt with Nintendo this whole week, and we'll get to the pinnacle of that when I talk about Amiibo Festival. But like, it's a terrible app. It's addicting. Like, it's one of those things where like you start picking them up and you want to continue. But I had to stop myself and be like, no, this is a stupid mobile game, and you're not going to spend any money on a stupid mobile game.
It's funny. I don't see it as addicting. So it's funny. I went to see a comedian like the last weekend or whatever, Brian Regan. He's one of my favorites. And we went to Casino Rama, which is a famous or well-known casino in Toronto. Or at least I think it's Toronto, whatever, in that area. And we went in there and we're waiting for our show. And my mom was like, "Oh, do you want to go see like what an actual casino looks like?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever," and see the slot machines because all the old people go crazy for them. My grandma used to go there all the time, but I go there and I'm like, I don't think I could ever get addicted to them. It's so boring. You sit there and you pull a lever, and then you just wait for it to happen, or you just press a button to like time it. But it's so random. I'm like, you have no input, so I could like never get addicted to it because it's so boring. Maybe card games because it requires some skill, but
Yeah. Even
it's
I go to casinos a fair amount and gamble a whole bunch,
yeah.
frankly, on card games, but I don't see the appeal of those. I feel the same as exactly what you said there. Maybe it's a video gamer thing. You're like, where's my control stick
Yeah,
for
well, the
this?
thing is, like, I've grown up with video games so much, and there's so much to them, and you have so much involvement in the games, and so much more fun. And then seeing that, it's like yeah, this looks boring. How do you get? I would get bored before I get addicted. I'd probably get like try it a couple of times, get pissed off, and be like, this isn't worth it. I'm not gonna bother. But same thing with Pokemon Rumble World. I actually got like a little crazy for it at one point, but I'm like, I'm not gonna pay money for this because one, I can just wait a little bit longer to get enough gems that I needed, and two, it's not worth it. And then I'm basically almost done the game as far as I can without paying money. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to pay any money for this. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
why don't we move on to Eli since you seem riled up?
Okay, so I'll get the easy ones out of the way. Finished The Witcher 3, which is probably so far my game of the year. It's a really solid, good game, but to be fair, I really haven't played much else that's really good this year other than maybe Splatoon, if you count that. Not really much else. I really have to think about it. I didn't really think Arkham Knight was that great. Nintendo has had a really weak year overall. And I haven't played Metal Gear Solid, and I haven't played Fallout or Tomb Raider. So far, Witcher 3 is probably my game of the year. And then I probably played the worst game of the year, which was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Shocking.
Strong words.
Which is a complete cash-in. It makes me infuriated at Nintendo. I haven't posted my review yet, but I will read you my first paragraph here. Usually people read a review to see some of the shortcomings of a game, perhaps to gauge how good the game truly is and to make a choice for themselves on whether to buy the title or not. Let me save you the trouble, because Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is terrible. The game is just a guise for Nintendo to rob its most faithful customers of their money, loyalty, and time. Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is bankrupt of creativity, fun, and any sort of heart. In fact, the game makes my heart ache for a truly good Animal Crossing game, considering this is the second in a matter of months to let down. Unfortunately, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is so devoid of any merit that it even makes Happy Home Designer look like the pinnacle of excellence.
Oh, wow.
So you liked it? Kind of?
Yeah, so for reference, I gave Happy Home Designer a 5, and it's a terrible cash-in. Literally could have created it single-handedly, even though I've never developed any game in the world. The only thing good about it is it's kind of pretty, like the game looks good visually, but that just makes me even sadder because those visuals could have been used on like a good actual Animal Crossing game.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. And so it's a little bit like Mario Party, except even less fun. Because in Mario Party there are mini games, right? Animal Crossing doesn't have mini games. So what you do is you go around this board, and you literally have almost no say. You're like just watching a game happen. Other than you do is roll the die, which, surprise, surprise, is random. It's not like you get to choose what you roll. So literally no interactivity because you will roll your die. Oh, by the way, every single time it's your turn, you have to tap your amiibo to the gamepad to roll the die. Which doesn't make any sense because the amiibo are useless and don't do anything anyway. Like, I don't know why they exist. I don't know why they're there. I don't know why they're forcing us to buy it.
Because they have to charge $60 for something that's worth $5.
And then you roll the die, you move, and then you'll land on either a good spot or a bad spot. And on a good spot, you'll either get money or happiness, and on a bad spot, you'll either lose money or lose happiness. And then at the end of the game, we all know that money makes the world go round, so any money you have is turned into happiness points. And then whoever has the most happiness points won. There are no mini games. There is really no interactivity. The only other element really is the fact that they still have the stock market, which for anyone who's a fan of Animal Crossing knows that if you it works on like you can buy stocks on one turn for a certain amount of money, and then every day. Okay, turn that phone off, Mike. Every day, based off what slot you
I can't do anything about it. I think someone else has to pick it up. Okay, it's good.
Based off of whatever spot you land on, you could sell your turnips for a different price. So that's literally the only interactivity. You can buy turnips at one price and just hopefully you'll sell it at a good price another day. The game is terrible. There are also a few mini games outside. Okay, this is the weird part. So there are mini games in the game, but they're not during board game play. So they're only become available outside of board game play. Like you have to exit board game mode to go play the mini games. And the mini games are terrible too. Like they're atrocious. So in conclusion, do not buy this game at all. Please, I beg of you, do not support Nintendo. For shitty stuff like this. The amiibo aren't even packaged in a new box, so there's no point to even buy it for the amiibo. Just import amiibo from Europe, that'll be cheaper. Like, do not give them money for this game. It is terrible.
So one question I have is you said there's no mini games in the board, but there are events that happen. Like, so I guess you land on a space or something and you talk to, I don't know, the dog or something, and there's a conversation. Is that just a way of dragging out the game to say here's money or here's happiness?
Yes. So what'll happen is like you land on a spot and I'll be like, I went fishing today and caught a carp. That's worth 300 bells, and then you get paid 300.
Well, that's dumb. Even Mario Party had one-player mini games where if you went on a certain spot, you would have to, play a little mini game and then you could get like an item or something from it. That would be a perfect situation to plug that in. Like, oh, here's a fishing mini game, and you have to catch X many amount of fish, and then you can turn that into coins rather than just here's a bag of coins. In
fact, it is so bad that I played a multiplayer game alone. Like in Mario Party, you can't do that. In the Mario Party games, you can't do that because if you play alone for 4 people, like that won't work because there are mini games.
Okay, so you didn't even have to have 4 players on screen. You're saying?
Like I was playing a multiplayer game just by myself.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you didn't even have to have computers or anything.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I could have, but it didn't make much of a difference.
That's weird.
In fact, it was more exciting to play all the characters as myself because then I didn't have to wait through all the other stupid turns, and I could just have them be relevant to me. Because otherwise, you also have to wait through all the other players' turns too and hear about their stupid lives. Like, this game is so terribly bad. And not just that. It's not just that it's bad. It's sad. Like Nintendo releases quality products. And this last year, they've been releasing so many pieces of shit, including this game, just to be a simple cash-in on Amiibo. Or, like, I'm infuriated. Nintendo used to be the pinnacle of quality. You always knew you'd be getting a good game. And now you don't.
Yeah. So it's like a 7 out of 10?
Maybe like a 2.5.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I could have saved you the time and said, hey, don't play Animal Crossing games. What? Am I right?
But the actual mainline Animal Crossing games are good.
Clay got it right.
That's what was, as I said, so much depressing is that the style was Animal Crossing, like the graphics were good. But it makes me want a real Animal Crossing game.
Yeah. It's unfortunate they used the Plaza assets for something so menial, because it seemed like a natural progression to go, okay, we'll test out, we'll just make some assets for this Plaza thing and get people kind of hyped up for Animal Crossing and then release an actual game. And then they released that, of course. But why don't we move on to Mike? What have you been playing this week?
Sounds like we lost Mike. You want me to pick it up?
Yeah, sure. Why don't you go on, and then we'll come back to him.
Sure thing. Long story short, this weekend, any of the listeners out there that are retro enthusiasts, you can go ahead and be jealous now, unless you happen to live in New Hampshire. Because I was up, made one of my pilgrimages that I make maybe biannually up to Fun Spot. They build themselves as the world's largest arcade. Nice. I don't know if that's true. I've always wondered because I don't really know a lot about the Japanese arcade culture, but I'm a big retro enthusiast, and a friend of mine, I've been there a couple times before. A friend of mine that had never been there before but wanted to see it, and I plan to go up there. It's pretty far from where I live. It's about an 8-hour drive. So we headed up there on Friday. stayed overnight in a hotel, did some beer drinking and good stuff. Shout out and regrets and condolences to Paris because we heard about that horrible situation. So I know that everyone here probably feels the same, regrets for that. And we were watching a lot of news about that on Friday night. But moving on to more entertaining and uplifting things related to video games, then on Saturday we went to Fun Spot, which is they bill it as having over 300 upright arcade games.
Oh, wow.
And it's really big. It's definitely worth anyone who has any even slight interest making a point there. It's a very big facility too. It's something that you could make a weekend out of if you had like kids or a family or just some friends, like just a bros trip like we were doing. Like because they have the arcade. They have lots of the more modern stuff in some areas that are like not stuff I'm so interested in. The more modern arcade games and stuff that I consider like post 90s. Stuff that you'll see in arcades at like your local movie theater, the Terminators and all that good stuff, if that's what you like to play. But then they have a whole bowling alley, they have a bar, they have food, they have other recreational type things. There's like skee ball, and some of those kind of things in some areas, but the real trophy, they have mini golf even indoors. It's a really big place. And, so it's cool. There's a lot to do there if you don't just want to play video games, or maybe say if you bring, other folks that aren't as into it. But, the main thing is, the classic arcade collection that they've been building since, the 80s. And, we basically geeked out, and I can't lie, played video games, for like 6-7 straight hours, and I can pull up a stool and sit in front of one of those machines and just go to town. So I couldn't even possibly tell you everything I played yesterday. I probably played 30 to 40 arcade games for extended periods of time. I mean, highlights would include Xenophobe. That's a really hard old game. Food Fight's one of my favorites that I've always wanted to own someday when I get some cabinets. Lots of really obscure ones. Their collection's cool because it's not just, Pac-Man and Galaga, but they got all that stuff, of course. But they have stuff, even as someone who's been playing it my whole life, I've never seen. Every time I go there, I play new ones. We played Warlords, a classic, a really good one called Rescue Ranger. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, maybe one of the highlights of their trophies, and then I'll kind of let it move on, because I could go on for the whole podcast about how rad this place is. But they have a Star Trek simulator. I've never seen this before. It's like a machine from the 80s with vector graphics that you sit inside it, and it's like you're sitting in the captain chair in Star Trek, and it's got knobs and buttons on your hands, so you don't even have a control stick. You have like buttons, just like you're like Picard or Kirk or somebody, and you control the Starship Enterprise in what's supposed to be a training simulator, and it's pretty rad. It's hilariously funny because I think it has Nimoy's voice in it. I have to look it up, but it sounds like Nimoy's legitimate voice, and you control the Starship Enterprise flying around in even the game is meta because it's like saying you're in a simulator. You're not actually in Star Trek. You're a cadet learning to pilot the starship. So that was pretty rad. So dumped copious amounts of money into upright arcade machines yesterday. That's in New Hampshire. It's called Fun Spot for anyone out there listening that wants to look it up. And it's 100 billion% worth your time to check it out. So, yeah, been playing those games.
So it actually costs you quarters then?
Yeah, well, I'm not totally the biggest fan that they converted all the machines to tokens.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a purist about that kind of stuff. I think that's a little strange. Maybe they have a reason for doing that that is beyond just, like, getting your money. Because I know the obvious reason you would do that is like, oh, well, you cash in a $20 bill. Well, we got your money now no matter what, Maybe there's a technological reason.
It's probably just easier to have your money up in a till rather than try to empty out all the arcades.
It's a good point that you make, and maybe it's technological too. Maybe they've standardized all the machines to a certain mechanical process so that maybe if there's issues with the way some of the machines were built, they've kind of standardized the coin receptacle so that they can fix it easier. Because everyone knows that's the biggest problem with old machines. They break a lot. Even the arcade here in my city, you go there and usually out of like 30 games, like 1 or 2 are black, when you walk in every time because they need repairs. So, it was really cool. It was pretty full actually. I'd never been there on a Saturday before, and it was like crazy because there was kids' birthday parties going everywhere. There was like families. And the one thing was, I was like, I'm kind of like one of those people who's like, yo, keep those Rugrats out from under my feet. I'm trying to play some games here. Yeah. But I did have the positive thought during it that I was like, at least these kids are like learning the true legitimate originals. Their parents are bringing them to a place where they can check out like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man, and I heard some like kids that were probably like 10 at one point. It warmed my old man heart to hear these like 10-year-old boys like they're like running by me with like a pocket full of quarters, and they go, "Yo, we got to play Mortal Kombat. Let's go play Mortal Kombat." And I'm like, that was me, years ago.
Yeah.
So there were moments like that, and I was like, good for them.
Cool.
So,
Yo, Clay, if you're ever in New York, there's a place Barcade, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
all have. Yeah, okay, yeah. I played like Tapper there. They have, they have Galaga, Dig Dug, like all those amazing games. So it's like they even had the Turtles in Time freaking cabinet, which is awesome.
You've been at the one in Brooklyn? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Down at Williamsburg in Brooklyn over there.
Yeah,
it
that's the one
is great.
That was the one I visited before. That is a dope spot. We actually, the same guys that own one here in my city in Philadelphia. That's what I mean when I say the arcade here. Barcade is sweet. Ours is actually a little bigger than the one up there in Brooklyn. But the one in Manhattan, I've heard they have one in Manhattan with like all fighting games. So you might want to check.
I know there's one in Manhattan. I was supposed to go to that one with my friend. I might be going next week because he loves Barcade. But that's the only place like it's an arcade now because we lost the arcade that was right by my house, like because they didn't pay the rent for like some shopping terrace. So
that'll kill you. Sweet, yeah. To the tip, I totally love Barcade. If I'm ever heading there, for sure, I'll hit you up because I love meeting up there and having some drinks and jamming some old games. So for sure.
Yeah, man. Eli already came up and he got some pizza in Nintendo World, man. You guys know I got to come down to New York. That's how it is.
Yeah, I've wanted to go to an arcade, but the only thing that I know of around here is just like a movie theater and whatnot. And my parents were fixing up their basement and turning it into a bar and whatnot. I'm like, hey, mom, get an arcade cabinet. Because it would be cool. Yeah. Just put like the MAME multiple arcade machine emulator on it and just have like a bunch of stuff have. It was cool. One of my teachers actually made he set up arcade cabinets in like his back room in his classroom, and during like lunches and recesses we could go in and play stuff. Yeah, it was cool. And then at one point like I beat a record of his and someone else beat a record of his, and he like made fun of it or made some jokes about it during like our class. It was pretty cool.
I want to go to school in Canada, bro.
I know. That was grade 8. I don't even know if he's there anymore, but yeah, there's some good stuff.
Nice.
But Mike, why don't we go on to you and talk about your Iron Man? I was gonna say Iron Man challenge with Smash Bros.
I mean, again, I am Tony Stark Iron Man. No, what do you call it? So
you're as cool as Tony Stark.
For a while, I've been trying to do this thing wherein Zero technically started it, even though I was totally starting it before him. But you're supposed to try to win with every character against a different opponent consecutively when you're playing For Glory. So, I would give it a shot usually. And I'd probably die usually around like 22 to 28. But like Wednesday, I finally got it done. So it took me 2 hours and 43 minutes, I think, and like 10 seconds. And I was just I don't know, I was like in the zone, like I was able to win. So there's 52 characters in Smash, excluding the Mii's. So the Mii's would make 55, but you can't do that when you play For Glory. So I started off with Ryu, and I was just like joking around, and by the time I re-looked at the scoreboard, it was like 22, and I was like, oh shit! So people were cheering me on. I had like 400 guys watching on the stream. And it's just everything fell into place finally. I didn't get too laggy of a match. I didn't do any stupid SDs, even though half the time I would. So I'll be like, oh man, I just zeroed to death this guy. This guy's a scrub. And then I'll be like, oh god, I'm nervous because it's a stupid streak. And then I would do something I'd never do. And then of course I would die from him. I'm like, yo, what am I doing, man? Just do shit like that.
Did you ever have any like poor connections where you're like, oh crap, I hope I don't die at this?
Oh yeah. If you guys watched my Link versus Meta Knight one, like legitimately, this shit is like freezing every 5 seconds, even on the YouTube video, and it's like holy shit, man. Like I'm like, oh god, I shouldn't have did that, but it was like good thing I was Link for that match, and I'm like, oh man, Link's awesome for laggy games, so I was able to take advantage of his strong knockbacks on tilts, and it was against Meta Knight too. I mean, Meta Knight's got good recovery, but he's a fast faller, so I was like, all right. And then other than that, I platinumed Persona 4 Dancing all night, which was pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, if you want a quick 20-hour game, I mean, 20 hours for everything, 10 10-hour, 15-hour game, and you love the Persona series, and you kind of want to. You never played those Hatsune Miku Vocaloid games. It's rhythm. It's a rhythm game like that. Yeah, I recommend playing it. The story wasn't like top notch. I mean, Persona 4 Arena's got a better story, and the music is good, which is better be. But other than that, like, I mean, I enjoyed it for the time it was. It was like a good change of pace game, and like I like right now I've been like more addicted to my Vita than playing like anything home console-y.
Mhm.
But I got my backlog getting big now, so now I gotta bang out those JRPGs I've been trying to get away from. So I'm out of Vita games, and I'm basically out of 3DS games to play. So.
Yeah.
Now it's down. Now it's back to the home systems.
Yeah. Yeah, I like rhythm games. I'd like to try that one because it looks pretty cool. I don't think I've listened to too many of the songs, but at least one of them was pretty cool. So I'd have to
Oh yeah,
check it out
I'd
for sure.
say I think Now I Know Something remix is probably my favorite one. And I get to play as my waifu. That's a Rise song, so it's like it works out like perfectly. I'm like nice,
Cool.
But oh yeah, I mean I played around with Halo 5 in the past few weeks, but I mean it's not really mine, so I haven't had too much time to play with it. Like I like it for what it is. I mean it's no Halo 2, Halo 3, but way better than Halo 4.
Yeah.
Not better than Reach. Reach is good. I like Reach.
Can I ask a question about the Iron Man challenge you were talking about?
Yeah.
How do you set that up? Like, so you're playing, is it random matches against real people, correct?
Yeah, so basically it's whatever order you want, but you had to remember it. So it goes. I set it up like this. So I started off with Ryu because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do the bottom row and I'm gonna bang them out consecutively. And so I did, Ryu, Lucas, Roy, Mewtwo. That's the four there. Like, and then I'm like, you know what? Nah, screw that. Like, I suck with I suck with a few characters. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get those characters out of the way. So I decided now I was doing it kind of like a bounty list. And so every time
I get it. I was confused because I thought you were saying you had to fight somebody else playing.
No, I could beat someone easily 52 like times consecutively if I wanted to. But I would after I win, I'd back out of the room and I would come in and I'd fight someone new with a whole new connection, and then I would pick a different character. And then
and you made it. You finished it. I never was quite clear. You finished it. You were able to do it.
Yeah, it took me 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty sweet, dude. Impressive.
Thanks, I mean, I have it up on YouTube, but there ain't no one watching a full movie of Smash. So, I was gonna put a list of the characters in order, and then like, oh man, I like that character, and you can click it, and I'll be like, oh man, this guy played like butt with that. I was like, man, like literally, like by when I hit like 30, I like wasn't even talking anymore. I was like, holy shit, I'm hungry. I gotta pee, but I can't leave right now.
Who was the nearest miss? Like, who did you almost lose with? Was there one character?
All right. Well, Link with the laggy match. I remember that. I almost blew at the end with my main with Diddy, but I was like, oh, it's because it's the last one, so it was like those nerves getting to me. And then let's see. Oh, that was it. I was I Bowser or was I Duck Hunt Dog? And yeah, I was Duck Hunt Dog, and I'm like, oh man, I suck with Duck Hunt. All right, and like this kid, he SD'd on his last stock, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because, like, I wasn't going to win. I wasn't. And I was like, all right, we take those. Like, it was no matter what, if they SD'd, if it was, like, a little jab and they passed, I was like, I don't give a shit during this streak. If it wasn't clean, if it wasn't nice, I'm taking anything, okay? So, I was Lanky Konging it up, man. All right? No style, no grace. All right? This Kong is an utter.
Nice. Totally. Amazing.
But, yeah, I mean, like I said, look for the character, like, you're like, oh man, I like that one. You'll probably see it up there. I mean, obviously you will with every character on there. There's a few of them I'm like, wow, I played really good with this shitty character, and other ones where I'm just like, what? I thought he said he was good with that guy, but like, it's the streak, John, man. You get nervous when you realize how far you're going.
Right on. Cool.
That's awesome. So let's move on to some news. There's some stuff I'll just go through quickly because there's a bit more important news. For Amiibo, Ike is a GameStop exclusive on Black Friday. That's stupid because it's Black Friday. You should have them just everywhere so that you sell more because it's Black Friday. Lottie is a Target exclusive. Shovel Knight looks like he's coming December 18th. Falco is coming to Canada November 27th. And I think Mewtwo is coming next week on the 20th. We also saw an ad for Target. We know Lucas is coming, but this Target ad also showed off Roy, Ryu, and the Famicom Rob that was only exclusive to Japan. So it looks like you won't have to import Rob if you can actually get him in here, but at least they're offering him. And there's also a new Animal Crossing amiibo. It's Timmy and Tommy Nook. They're like Tom Nook's, the raccoon's like nephews or something like that. I don't know why they have it, but whatever. I guess it just goes with their other Animal Crossing stuff. Some other quick things were announced. Japan's getting Pokken Tournament on March 18th with a bundle. And while we don't have a release date here in the West, Amazon Italy listed that we should be getting it May 29th, or supposedly. Blah, blah, blah. Xenoblade Chronicles X was awarded the best RPG at Paris Games Week. I figured I'd mention that for Flea, because he'd probably have a fit and be like, why aren't you talking about this? This game's amazing. And apparently the game's map is also bigger than Fallout 4 and The Witcher combined. Nintendo World Report tested it. I think they tested it via walking speed, like how long it takes to walk. If you're both going at the same pace, kind of thing. So that's just ridiculous. Nintendo UK and I think North America as well has a build your own bundle program for the holidays. So you can choose like a console, a game, an amiibo, an accessory, and like some little gift, whether it's a plushie or like a t-shirt or something. And it's a pretty good deal. So if you're thinking of getting a 3DS XL or a Wii U, go there. And maybe if you don't want some of that other stuff, there's also a Wii U bundle with Smash Bros. And Splatoon for $250, or at least in one place. I'm pretty sure it's in North America as well, but I think I heard from another podcast that it wasn't confirmed. But that's just nuts, because it's like the two best games that you would want the console for, and you can get it right out of the box.
Yeah,
that's the easiest way to jump in. Like, here's the best two games. Okay, awesome.
That's an incredible deal. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even believe they're almost having to do that, but it's what it is.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm of the mind that I don't think bundles are the right way to go. I think a price drop is the right way to go. The fact is, the Wii U is $300, and you can get an Xbox One with a game for $300. Like,
you can?
What?
You can?
It's $250.
I don't.
Yeah, you can. No, Black Friday deals came out. $300 for an Xbox One with a game. Like,
okay.
It's not even competitive. Even with the best Wii U Black Friday ads, it's like $250. It's like you walk into a store, $250 for a Wii U, $300 for an Xbox One. I don't care how many games you bundle in with the Wii U, you're not going to compete.
It depends. I mean, I'm not expert on that stuff. Personally, I hear what you're saying, because I think giving away two of your strongest games is probably.
I think it's the fact that it's longevity. Whereas here's the Wii U that's kind of dwindling, and here's an Xbox One which is going to get a couple of years out of it, and the difference between the two is $50. Like that's not good.
Yeah, but like what are you gonna like? Oh yeah, I forgot people like multi-platform games. It was like at least like we have like there's a lot of first-party games. Like for Xbox, exclusives. I'm like, all right, there's Halo, but like that's all I can think of.
Well, that's the thing.
Nintendo,
Nintendo has nothing to lose, because if you're buying a Wii U, you're probably going to buy a game, and if you're buying a game for the Wii U, the first thing you're probably going to go to is Mario Kart. So I feel like that lower price is going to do more for you than in terms of getting people into the door than the game will.
Yeah.
Bundled in.
Well, I wonder how much they would have to cut and still have a profit, because I think they were making a profit before, so they could probably cut it a bit and still make money off of it. Yeah.
They should. I mean, they could even be taking a loss at this point, because pretty much everything on the Wii U is first party. So if you buy games, that money's going to Nintendo.
Yeah, I guess at this point they realize they're just going to cut their losses, and whoever wants one is going to buy one anyway. So why bother lowering the price? Because you're not going to get enough new customers to justify lowering.
You don't want to piss them off when you launch that next year.
No, that's going to be tricky, because like you said, like you can get an Xbox One on sale for $300. It's like obviously I don't think it's going to stay there for past that deal, but like when the NX launches, it has to be the same price as everything else, like regardless of how much R&D costs and whatnot, because no one's going to pay more for their console that's coming in later that has to prove itself. Like it's just not going to be good. maybe they'll have to bundle in like a Mario game or something big, and have it at a low cost just to be able to sell it. But onto some other news. The IARC system is implemented to the eShop. Shorthand, it just makes easier for developers to bring games to other countries. Nintendo wants more young people in their company. Capcom grabbed a trademark for Mega Man that applies to video games, movies, and TV. So maybe they're not full of crap when they're saying they want to launch a new TV show and movie.
Wait. What, Nintendo wants more people in their company, or more like third party games? I don't get it.
No, sorry. Nintendo wants more young people in their company,
Oh, okay.
like younger employees, so that
Got it.
yeah, they can kick out older ones, I guess. Because I don't know, they could use some new people. And Hideki Kamiya asked via Twitter poll if people wanted an Okami, Beautiful Joe, or Devil May Cry sequel, and most people seem to want Okami with like 60 to 70%. So that's cool. Maybe we'll get one at one point, and then they'd have a reason to put Amaterasu in Smash Brothers. I don't know.
No.
I think I know. I was thinking about it for a video, and I think she would have some cool moves. Like, I don't think it's likely.
They're already
But
in Marvel. They would just take those moves from there. It doesn't matter. Amaterasu sucks because Okami sucks. I don't want that bullshit on there, right? Come on, at least give us, at least consider Bomberman and Banjo and anything on Earth.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I'll take Croc in the Legend of Gobos before
No,
I
not
put
that.
Okami.
Obviously, I want Banjo and like the bigger ones first. I'm just saying, I think Amaterasu would be cool. Like, once they
Never.
start using up like Snake and Simon Belmont and all of the other big ones.
Yeah.
But
By
now,
the way, sorry to go back, but I wanted to actually look it up to make sure. So in Target, if you go to Target on Black Friday, you can get an Xbox One for $300 with a $60 gift card and Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
yeah,
but Gears of War-
Really,
That's-
it's $240 with Gears of War.
well, I would sell that to be honest, but that's
No, it's
that's
not
a
too
good
for
deal.
you. That's a stupid gift card that you can't use in the day. I hate when people say that. No, alright?
I mean,
There
it's
is no
pretty
point
much
in
enough
looking
to
to
buy another game.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
is, what are they? Okay, you're looking at it at that point. That's only for the day sale, and any Black Friday sale is in limited quantity. It's not, like the store doesn't have every single Xbox One like that. It means only 10 usually go like that, or 5.
No, I mean, well, all the Xbox ones are like that are this particular bundle, but I mean, I've been seeing deals like that. I just wanted to bring up an example. I've been seeing that
Sure.
all across different ads. GameStop, Best Buy.
Yeah.
Just to, I guess, prove my point a little more.
Well, even if
All
it is
right,
limited, it's still like they're giving an option of a better deal rather than nothing. Because Nintendo hasn't really done an actual deal. It's just, here's a different game we're bundling it with. Okay, this isn't working here. Let's bundle it with a different game, etc., etc. But now on to the Nintendo Direct. So I don't remember what everyone else on IGN thinks of it, but for me, I was underwhelmed. I don't know. It was really boring. I wrote this out of order. Shouldn't have started that. But to start off, I kind of hope they'd make a little tribute to Iwata, which, like Reggie mentioned him, but it was more like, yeah, he died, let's move along, which I thought was kind of distasteful. I don't know. Maybe when they relaunch the Directs in the new year, they'll do something more special, but I felt that was kind of not nice. But onto the actual Direct. I thought it was really boring, to be honest. Like, I was excited at the beginning because, it's finally starting, and then after like a couple of minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm just sitting here waiting for something exciting to happen. I don't know. I think it was a bad approach. Like, we've been waiting 6 months for news on anything, whether it's in a Direct or just them releasing trailers or something, and they didn't really do much. And then once they finally do release a Direct, it's just stuff we've already known of, or just like, here's a release date and whatnot. I mean, there were some things, I'll admit, that were definitely big for other people and not so much for me. So there was some stuff in there, but I think overall it just wasn't that interesting.
I can react and say like
We'll go
some
into all the
things.
details. Sorry, we'll go into all the details after, but yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, I mean, I can react, but I don't know if others had a differing opinions that they wanted to offer. I personally liked it. I could probably, I know we had talked offline a little bit, and I probably have a bit of a contrasting view personally. I mean, I hear you about the Iwata thing, and I can go either way on that. Just specifically since you brought that up, I thought about it too. I think their view of that was there were tributes from the company and comments and you know, other media outreach on that topic in a general sense when, of course, he passed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, looking at this as, well, this is business related. We're going to acknowledge it, but we're not going to bring the whole thing's vibe down because then what are we going to do with this direct? I mean,
that's a fair point.
if anything, maybe your comment would be that they maybe should have done something else a little more substantial themselves separate from this. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on that. Maybe Iwata himself, who knows what his requests were. Maybe he said, please don't make a big deal out of this. I can imagine that being the case even,
Yeah,
but,
it was a nitpick at most.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, personally for me, maybe just to take the counterpoint, since you were saying you're underwhelmed, like to position myself, then I guess I'd say I thought it was fine. Personally, I don't expect news bombs every time, and I'm not suggesting maybe that you're asking for a news bomb. I see it as like they use these as periodic news updates. Here's where the games are at. Here's what's coming up. Here's the progress that's been made. Maybe throw you a few little bits of news tidbits or some new screens, things like that. I liked it. I actually had a very positive reaction to it, if I'm completely honest, in a vacuum outside of any, interaction with IGN or other fans. I was really pumped because I got kind of the buzz off seeing some more Star Fox because I'm positive for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks pretty interesting. I don't know that it looks particularly revolutionary, but it's been long enough for me, hey, I'll take anything. Throw me a Star Fox. I'm psyched. There was a lot of news in there that doesn't apply to me because I don't play a lot of RPGs, don't have time for them. So dropping news about a lot of RPGs, a lot of things related to that genre. I was kind of tuning out a little bit during that stuff, but hey, I'm glad it's there for those of you guys. Yokai Watch, I made a joke before that I'm like, who wants to play this? And you guys were all like, all of us. And I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm like, what is this, another Pokemon thing? I don't even play the Pokemons, whatever. I don't need Pokemangs, so that stuff, I'm like, well, hey, they're making things. Sure, there wasn't a lot of new news, but, and the one thing I said on IGN, my reaction, the one disappointment you could almost tag me for, if I can wrap that, is that when they did the kind of star wipe, there was, the like stars across the background right before they announced Cloud, I did have a moment where I let myself be like, are they announcing Galaxy 3? Is that the big bomb? And then it's like a character I've never heard of from a RPG I've never heard of coming to a game I love. Yeah, I don't play I played Final Fantasy 1, 3, the originals on the NES, and then I was like, all right, I got my fill.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, I didn't even play Final Fantasy 7 when it came out because I didn't even have a PlayStation console till the PS3. But
yeah,
I'm
just tuned out on games like that.
Yeah,
I don't
that's fine.
I don't play RPGs really. I listen in a little bit when other friends and you guys and all talk about them, but it's like, when am I going to have the time to play a game like that? Never. I'll be dead before I have time like that. So I have so many other games that are more my style. So Final Fantasies and things like that, I have a deep respect for the franchise. I did play 1 through 3 on NES and thought they were awesome. And then that whole genre left me behind, at some point. So, but I don't know, that was my reaction. That maybe my disappointment was it wasn't Galaxy 3. It's like, I mean, the screenshots of whatever this dude is looked rad. I will download it. I probably won't play as him because I don't play sword characters mostly. I mean, Link being the exception, but the Fire Emblem guys, forget it. He looks a little bit like something, maybe like a Shulk or a Fire Emblem to me. I'm interested to hear what Mike has to say about what he saw there, but I'll still download that stage and all that stuff because it looked ridiculous. So I'm interested in general in that.
Yeah, so. Mike, I'm confused. Before you say anything, I actually don't know how you'll react because at one point I could think you say, oh yeah, it's pretty cool they put in a Final Fantasy character, but on the other side I could think like, oh man, they put in Cloud, he's so mainstream, I hate him, or crap, what else?
Predictions from Mike's comments up next on the podcast.
Oh man, that's funny. There's
But
the mainstream. That is those are things I do say. Well, for me, honestly, I kind of laughed when he got announced because I really didn't know what to think, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Like, that was it. It was like just cool for me. That's all I thought. I was like, thank God it's not Galaxy 3. Sorry, Unoclay. I would have thrown up a little bit if that was Galaxy 3. I was like, Galaxy 2 is shit enough. We didn't need another one. Right?
No.
They're gonna be like, oh, these are the other levels in the file we forgot to put in on Galaxy 2. I'm like, wait, that was what Galaxy 1 was, alright? That's what Galaxy 1 was amazing. And they're like, you know what? We had these levels and we're putting them on a disc for you. And we're gonna say it's a game and we have Patrick Star as your companion.
Can you insert a link here to Mike like ranting about Galaxy 2 every time it's mentioned ever from other podcasts? Like right here, like and see podcast 14 and 20.
It's not even a sequel. That's what bothers me. Like it's stupid. All right, okay, I don't want to get off point. All right, with Patrick Star and Mario starring in Galaxy 2, but yeah, like when Kaga, that's like watching it, I was like, oh wow, this is super cool. Like wow, and then after that, I'm just like, that was it. Like I had no emotion at all. I was like, it wasn't like a surprise. Like I was like, okay, Sora would have been a bigger shock to me because I'm like, all right, it's been like 3 Kingdom Hearts games on Nintendo consoles. Chain of Memories for Game Boy Advance. Actually, it's 4. Chain of Memories and Game Boy Advance. Recoded 358 over 2. Actually, 358 over shit because that game is ass. And Dream Drop Distance for the 3DS. And that was the 10-year anniversary of Dream Drop Distance. I was like, oh, that would have been like, a little bit smarter because Final Fantasy used to be only a Nintendo thing, and then it became a PlayStation thing with Cloud. So, like, that makes no sense in that opinion. But I guess that just opened up the floodgates. But seeing him, I was like, another sword fighter. I also felt like that was lazy. That was another thing, too, because looking from his attacks, it was like, I see a lot of similarities to like Shulk, Ike, and Link kind of put together. Like it looks like he had like Shulk's kind of gentleman, which is your regular neutral jabs.
Right.
And I was like, oh, all right. But one thing that Sakurai does well is that he makes those characters unique and similar to their own series. Like with Ryu, like he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be cool to see how Limit Break works with Cloud because that just adds another whole new like component to the game that a character will specifically has for himself.
Could you explain what that is? Could you explain what limit breaking is to me and the rest of us that don't know? Because I really don't even know what that is.
Oh, okay. Well, in Final Fantasy, in Final Fantasy 9, this is really simple. So as you attack and you progress per battle, you'll have a second bar next to your ATB, your active time battle bar, and a limit is kind of like the ultimate attack. In Final Fantasy 9, they call it trance, but in Final Fantasy 7, it's called limit. Now, when he did the Omni Slash, like that thing that looks like Ike's Final Smash, which Ike's was based off Cloud, fun fact, that's a limit break. So once you get to this point where there's no materia in the game, so it's kind of missing the whole component of choosing your materia. But limit break is just think of kind of like a final form, and you can do an ultimate attack out of it. So I'm guessing Limit Break's gonna work in the sense where his attacks probably get powered up in the middle of the game, or as he does more damage.
Sort of like Little Mac or something like that.
Yeah.
No, similar to. Okay, think Lucario. You know how he has great.
Okay, that's right. That was my next guess. Gotcha. Like
okay, yeah. So thing is, it looks like the difference will be it should be only one attack. Like Lucario's Aura Sphere. That actually his entire aura component is supposed to be the more he gets hit, the better he is. Now with Limit Break, that's going to be like one attack is going to be a fantastic attack, and then it resets its counter meter like that. You know what I mean? Like it's going to reset on itself, but limit doesn't mean I can only do it once. And it's going to be, I'm going to say maybe his side B can probably instead of being a slash, it'll probably turn into like Omni Slash. With Limit Break on, because that's what it should do. But I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it definitely does that, because, we won't know until we touch the character and see what Sakurai does. But I've heard things that that Cloud might drop pretty soon.
Yeah, we're supposed to get.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, we're supposed to get Smash Direct on its own sometime in December, and in one of the Nintendo's press releases, it said it'll be the last like Smash Direct. So I think it's like the last Smash dedicated Direct. So either this will be the last time we get characters, or they're just not going to do like a specific thing. They'll just throw it in other Nintendo Directs kind of thing. So we don't really know too much on that, but it's supposed to come. It's supposed to come out sometime December, and Cloud and whatever other content's probably going to be released then as well.
That's cool. I mean, did you guys hear the rumors with the Direct? Like, oh my god, the Direct's the same day as Melee came out in North America. I was like, those are for those people who look too far into things and make
Yeah.
me upset.
They're, well,
Alright? I'm like, it turned out that way. I'm like, if it was important, they would have went by the Japan date of anything.
Yeah.
Okay? 'Cause
Well,
that's where they're from.
at the end when they said, "Oh, there's a special announcement, the Smash Direct," and people are like, the Brawl version of Final Destination is playing. Maybe that means something. And I'm like, I don't know. It could, but at the other time, we also thought like Ridley was gonna be in because Sakurai did like this weird trophy thing in one of the directs, and it looked like it was pointing to playable characters, and it literally meant nothing. So.
I mean, like, come
better
on,
not.
like, Rayman at least has a trophy. He's got a better shot than freaking stupid Ridley.
Yeah. But I don't know. When I saw Cloud, I was just flabbergasted. I'm like, what? Cloud is a Final Fantasy character that was like a PlayStation exclusive is in Smash?
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, what?
that's what I'm just saying. Because like Final
Just
Fantasy became a
surprising.
PlayStation thing because like with Cloud because
Yeah.
you know the stupid CGI and moved the CD. And I'm just like, man, they could have taken anybody. Like that's what I thought. Like I'm like, Star would have made sense, but. I had no like feelings towards it. Like Cloud is cool. Like I like
Yeah.
Cloud. Like at least it's not lightning. That's what I think in my head.
Yeah,
but I'm
thanks.
like,
Thankfully.
I would have quit Smash. Like I would have shot something. But like I don't know. Like I just like literally. I guess I don't want to say I'm flabbergasted, but I'm speechless. Is, I
Yeah.
guess more akin to what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to think. It's like holy shit. Like this is Cloud's in the game. Like what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, I think he does look like a lot of his moves are recycled from Ike and some other characters, but I don't know. I think he moves faster than Ike, and there's just some other things about him I think I'll like more than some other Sword characters. I don't know. I'm excited to try him. It's funny that Nintendo got a more Sony exclusive character, and when Sony did their own Smash Brothers, they couldn't get him. They couldn't even get a Final Fantasy character. Square Enix is like, no, we ain't lending anything. We're not even going to lend Lightning, and we can't stop promoting that character. They promoted gosh dang Lightning in one of the other games here where you can have like
Final
different
Fantasy
costumes.
Sport. I played that at
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
they couldn't help but put Lightning in that, but they couldn't put it in the Sony Smash Brothers thing. I don't know. I thought that was funny. But
yeah, that game's pretty interesting. I mean, since we brought it up already, like
Yeah.
I played it before. It's an action RPG.
Mike.
I think we lost Mike there for a second.
All right. Eli, are you tied to Cloud anyway or Final Fantasy? Like,
No, I kind of, yeah,
Petered out.
as I said, I play Smash Bros. Casually. Not really in the whole, I buy all the DLC, but I definitely not nearly as into it as Mike, and I have not yet played Final Fantasy VII. Waiting for the remake at this point, even if it might be 5 years away. So, don't really have much to say on the subject.
look.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's funny
I never really shared my thoughts on the Direct.
Okay, yeah, go.
And I have to agree with Matt. It was really underwhelming for me. They didn't really make any new announcements. They did show a decent amount of trailers, but really nothing new. I mean, like, there's still nothing for Wii U next year other than Star Fox Mega 10, which they didn't really show anything new on. And Zelda, which now we have 2 Zeldas coming next year for the Wii U, but only one of them is new, and we got 11 seconds of footage, which I don't think counts.
No. They're definitely showing that at the Game Awards. They just wanted to tease you.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
I mean, it was a weak Direct for me. Nothing new announced for 3DS either, from what I can remember. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. So, they tried to make it look like there was a lot of stuff, but this year is still a really weak year, except for maybe Xenoblade and Yoshi and Splatoon on Wii U and Mario Maker, of course. And then 3DS, there's a decent amount of third-party stuff, but on the first-party front, really weak year for the 3DS as well. Next year's looking better for the 3DS.
Yeah.
So I can't really
It
speak.
seems like a good year, Eli, you pessimist. All right? I mean, you just named 5 match good first-party games. All right, that's
For the
good
Wii
to
U?
me. Yeah.
Okay, that's 4 games. That's averaging once every 3 months. And considering the amount of crappy Wii U titles or titles that should have come out and didn't, like Amiibo.
Yeah, but I can't think of any game that came out for Xbox this summer or this entire year that's not Halo.
Well, it doesn't, but there are multi-platform games that are on the Wii U, like you've got Fallout, you've got Tomb Raider, which I guess is an exclusive for this year, you've got The Witcher, you've got Batman, you've got Metal Gear Solid.
You listed Batman, but you said you didn't like it all that much.
Well, but a lot of people
And yeah,
did.
Sure.
that's unfair because if you're looking at it as a company, they put out the best games. Like that's the way I look at it. Because I don't buy.
Not really. Even if you're looking at Metacritic, the Wii U games that they're putting out, Mario Maker I think is probably their highest rated for this year. Splatoon I would say is underrated, so I'd probably count Splatoon up there as well. But if you're looking at Metacritic or I don't know what other metrics you'd use. Nintendo had a weak year. They had I really liked Yoshi. That got mixed reviews. 4 to 5 games is not going to make a year for you, especially with nothing on multi-platform. Because I'm counting multi-platform, which the Wii U had literally none of, other than like Lego Dimensions and Skylanders. I'm sorry to be a pessimist, but this is not a good year for the Wii U. Next year, not looking very filled to the brim with content either. 3DS, on the other hand, looks like it's going to have a good year next year.
Yeah, I didn't expect to have a new announcement every.
HD's coming out. It's automatic.
Oh, we'll talk about that. Jeez. Yeah, I didn't expect new stuff to be announced like every second. I expected them to talk about stuff we've already known of, but I was kind of hoping they'd show off some actual new things, which they really didn't. I mean, sure, some of it was leaked, like Twilight Princess HD, but even that isn't really all that interesting, which is a good segue into it because they finally announced Twilight Princess HD, and unlike what the HD moniker sounds like, it's really just
it looks port. Like crap.
It's not changed. I think the best way to describe it is they took off the drunk goggles. Because if you look at the comparison of the GameCube / Wii to the HD one,
they showed the shitty Wii version. The GameCube one was so clean and nice. All right, they touched it up. It looked great. All right, like you guys sound like people who like Skyward Sword right now. All right, so
surprise, I did like Skyward Sword.
Go sit in the corner.
Mike, my issue is that they're like, oh, look, it's Twilight Princess HD, but they didn't actually update the visuals or lighting or anything like Wind Waker HD.
They fixed the lighting, man. You can see some of the textures are a bit cleaned up, but it's
a port
on the moniker of HD. Like we all know it's a remaster.
But
okay,
I don't stand for that crap. That's garbage.
It's literally the Wii version with textures of a 360 game.
No, it's the GameCube version cleaned up.
Okay.
Yeah. But
that's better.
Regardless, I don't think they should have.
I mean, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it, the special edition. It's like I'll play it. I really don't care. But I mean, I feel like it's a misnomer.
I think honestly, the reason they have it as a $60 game is not because it deserves that price at this time. It's just because they're trying to fill their catalog, and rather than put it as a $20 game on the eShop like the other games. They're just like, well, let's just bring it to market, package an amiibo with it, and then just charge $60 because we know people will buy it, which, I don't know, I think is disingenuous. Wolf Link amiibo...
I don't know. I'm going to disagree because I think just people get mixed up when it says HD, and we all know it's a remaster. Like, shit, freaking Resident Evil was remastered, and that shit was like, literally looked like a 480p game with clean textures. Like, when games are remade, and they look like that, then I get pissed off. But like Metal Gear Solid had its own. They call it the HD collection. A lot of those, and they're just remasters.
But at
You
least
know?
with the collection, you get a bunch of games. I don't mind that they brought back Twilight Princess so that you could play it on your Wii U. My problem is that they want to charge $60 for something that's relatively unchanged. If they put it as like a $10 or $20 download, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Well, remember, most people played the shitty Wii version and waggled their hand like retards half time playing the game in a shitty mirrored version. Now they're gonna play the good version and play with a controller. Like that's an upgrade for them. Like
No, that's
and
not
Twilight
$60
Princess is
worth.
so good.
That's not a $60 worth upgrade.
It's
But
worth-
Here's the way to approach it. I'm curious, do you guys think that the Wind Waker HD version was correctly priced, so to speak? I mean, I'm not really interested in the pricing argument. I mean, $40, $50, $60, what the heck, who cares? Personally, unless we're talking about it being really, really cheap, I'm maybe I'm on the outside on that. But did you guys think Wind Waker was, worth it, quote unquote?
It depends on how much you paid for it. I paid $30 for Mike's digital code, so yes, it was for me.
I don't remember
Wind
what I
Waker's
paid.
all right. I mean, I paid like 50 or 60 because I got the Ganondorf thing with it. But it's like, to me, it's all right. Like, I like Nintendo. I'm biased towards that. I'm gonna buy a Nintendo game and it's gonna be worth it. Like Star Fox is gonna be. Every freaking penny I spend, it's gonna be fantastic. That's why I get pissed off when like, Star Fox looks like shit at E3. It looks like a PS2 game last gen. I'm like, bro, like hop off. Like, A, it's Star Fox. I wanted a rail shooter. B, it's got new things. And C, it looks fantastic to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Right, weren't you pissed off when people were like, "Oh man, it doesn't look that, like that crisp, that clean, like, that next gen." It's like, so you're judging Star Fox based off how HD it is, or like, like that's not what it is. All right, those are just added benefits. But that's why, like, I don't care. I love Twilight Princess. Like, I think that's a great game, and a lot of people didn't give it a chance. Half the people I talked to, like, freaking couldn't even get past the fish, which is the beginning, or didn't even get, like, to the Twilight, or to stop being. Some guy I talked to was like, "Oh, I hated that game. I hated being a wolf." I was like, you stop being a wolf like an hour in, right? Like,
interesting. That's funny, Mike, because you're actually speaking to me there in some degree, because I did get it for the Wii, and I played it a little bit, as I've remarked with some of you guys before. I'm with everything you're saying there, I'm kind of fanboyed up with Nintendo. I tend to give things a better chance, and I don't care about like, this level of graphics, or what the greater community thinks. Nintendo does make incredibly good games, regardless of what they look like. So I'm usually a fan. Zelda is a little bit of a weird spot for me, being a big Nintendo fan, or I get a little tired of the plot lines being always going to be some Gorons, always going to be some, a water world, that kind of thing. I've been playing them since the beginning, played virtually all of them. I admit, Twilight Princess, I kind of quit about 3 to 5 hours into it, because I did have that reaction where I was like, what's this? I got to be a wolf now? That's a neat gimmick, kind of, and then I hit the Gorons and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. More Gorons, I'm out. Like, I've played enough games with Gorons.
Yeah.
But strangely, that said, I did have a positive reaction to the Wind Waker. I didn't think that game really needed a remaster, HD, whatever you want to call it. Because it was amazing. It looked good originally. It would have been far down the list of games I thought they could have spent their time remastering, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But for this, I'm a little interested, I'll admit. I might put a pre-order down on it so I can get the little plastic memory chip figurine.
That wolf amiibo Wolf Link amiibo, because if I say wolf, it just looked great too. Like, it looks awesome. Like,
the one thing I think they should do with amiibo is, for certain figures, ditch the disc. They could have made Wolf Link.
Ditch the disc.
No, listen to me. Like, they have him standing on 2 separate rocks. They could have made one big rock, and it still would have worked, and not have the dumb disc underneath, because it looks like garbage. Because, like, for Smash Brothers, it works because, this character is meant to be like a little trophy. It works for that style. I'm fine with that. The regular Mario characters, that's fine. It works for that. For this, he's standing on a rock. It looks cool like that. Then you have this dumb disc underneath that just, like, breaks just the style of it. I just like the way Disney Infinity does theirs. I don't know. I think they do it better.
I hear what you're saying. I looked at that. I thought, hey, whatever.
It just looks out of place.
I guess to be a counterpoint, I do like the consistency that my collection will look standardized, so to speak. And it's not the right way to put it, but that the disc is part of an amiibo's look.
Mm-hmm.
And if they started, me personally, if they started looking like action figures, like I don't know, I'm not sure if I would be as interested in having outside of the Smash collection, because I was fighting it. I didn't want to go outside the Smash collection. Then I found out the amiibos for the Splatoon have the 8-bit mini games embedded in them that I didn't know about till I got one. Now I'm like, oh boy, I need these because I want those 8-bit mini games for my Splatoon, completism or whatever.
Yeah.
And and then I saw this come out, and given that I really didn't give that game a fair chance, probably should have played it a little longer than I did. I can admit that. I'm probably going to be buying it, and and the amiibo, I can't lie, helped. I looked at it, and like Mike was saying, I thought it looked pretty good, disc or not, aside.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they can. I don't know. I think they can play around with each set as it comes as its own thing. Just whatever works best for that. Maybe they could have incorporated the disc and had it just. I don't know. Stylistically, it just looks off. One last thing I want to say about Twilight Princess before we move on to answer your question of how much I paid for Wind Waker and whatnot. I don't remember. I might have had a deal on it for 40, maybe $50 because I got the Ganondorf figure in it. I honestly wouldn't mind paying full price for the Twilight Princess HD game if it was a remake, because I would find that it warrants that price because they revamped like the visuals, like new models and whatever. But as far as like, it just looks like a slightly cleaned up port. Like there's no point for me to spend money on it. I have the Wii game. I can just pop that in. Like there's no sense for me to rebuy the same thing I could literally just play anyway. But
That's fair.
So that's my gripe with it. It doesn't warrant a price
I don't
for
know.
something.
I sold it for like nearly full price on eBay after I got bored of it. So for me, it's like,
well, yeah, you don't
hey,
have it, so you'd
you know
have
what
to
I mean? Give it
out.
another chance. And if it's cleaned up a bit, I want to see more videos of it, because you guys are saying things that, or at least Matt, you're saying something that I've heard other people talking about online. But I'm wondering, maybe when we see this, they're going to show it a little bit more before we get it. Maybe that was just early builds. Who knows? I don't know.
Because it's coming out in like March, or I think they actually gave a date for it. I think it was something like March, which Eli called before. So
March 6th is coming out.
Something like that, yeah. So they're not really gonna change the models or anything. Like even when they showed off Wind Waker HD, like you knew that they clearly changed things. But let's move on from that.
Hashtag Eli was right.
Exactly. They did show off Star Fox, which looked cool. Some people did some comparisons, and it's slightly better, whatever. But I was surprised because Miyamoto said it was delayed, and it wouldn't be that long, and we heard rumors it was coming in February, and it seemed like that would be the right time because they said they didn't really need much time, they just wanted to polish it up, and now it's not coming until April, which seems not ridiculous, but I'm kind of surprised it's getting delayed like another 5 months. And I saw some stuff saying on their website they list online features, which doesn't necessarily mean online multiplayer, but they did say in the past if they had time, they would want to include it. And if they're delaying it 5 months, I can't see that just being polished. They must be adding something significant to it. So I'm thinking they're going to add a multiplayer mode and show it off later.
You're going to be disappointed.
I'm not expecting it, but come on. Star Fox doesn't need 5 months delay for a little polish.
I don't know. I'm not a believer yet. Like, if they didn't mention it there, I'm not a believer. Like, I kind of, like, I know it's what everyone wants. I would love it too. Completely, 100% agree. You and I play a ton of video games together. I have a lot of other friends I play with. I would adore having that option. But I'm just a little worried that people are going to get their hopes dashed that really all they're doing is making it a better game, but they're not adding a huge, like, online component. But I want to be wrong. Hashtag Clay wants to be wrong, So, for real, but I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting point you raised.
Yeah. They showed off Fire Emblem Fates and did confirm that we're getting 2 versions. I think someone said in Europe they're getting 2 of them in one. I don't know if that's right, but here in North America it's $40 for one version and then $20 to buy the other one. And then if you want both the games and the DLC chapter or whatever, and also like an art book and stuff, you can get it for $80. So it's literally the same as buying 2 copies. You just get some other cool stuff in there. So that's neat. I don't know. That still seems like it's not that big of a price drop. I would think like $80 seems a lot. But anyway, one thing that was cool that they announced was they're porting Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow to the 3DS for February.
Oh yeah, that was such a cool announcement.
Yeah, personally, I'm not I don't really care because I've played it and I don't really have a need to go back for it. But a lot of people were curious if this would happen because I don't know, I forget. They came up with a bunch of reasons, but one of them was like linking the games and et cetera, et cetera.
No, you have the old link cable. So
yeah.
And then Red and Blue, you can't get all the Pokemon, and for some Pokemon like Gengar, you can't. He can't evolve into Gengar unless you do a trade. But you can just get Pokemon Yellow and get every single one.
Yeah.
Not that I would know. Even though I know.
Yeah, but it's cool. They do have wireless trading. They didn't mention anything about the Pokemon Bank, which I'm wondering if they will implement or not.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
too
a
sure about that.
self-contained experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It would be cool if they did. Because I don't think you can get all of the first generations in X and Y, because there's legendaries and whatnot. You probably have to trade. But still, it's cool to see it on there. I'm wondering if they're going to have glitches in the game. So, Ocarina of Time, when they remade that, they still kept in some of the famous glitches or whatnot. And one of the big ones in Pokemon Red and Blue was Missingno. So, you fought this corrupted Pokemon that looked like a chimney, and it flew and did all these weird attacks. I think it could corrupt your game in certain scenarios, so I don't know. That's a big part of that game. I'm wondering if they're going to include it or patch it out. It'd be cool if they left it. But there's not too much left. They announced Linkle for Hyrule Warriors Legends, which is new character. It's alright.
Just skip it.
I'm just laughing. Linkle.
What? Yeah, you don't understand how angry I am about that. I'm legitimately angry, not usual me ranting and pissed off, and that is literally my trigger ass shit to make me angry.
What, the name?
No, the entire character and its premise.
Why?
I'm gonna get this. We're all gonna get hate mail. It's gonna be okay. Why, first off, why do we need a female Link? Oh, because the internet has to say so, and it's all oh man, Link should be, a girl, because, that's how it is, and female power, and, it's 2015 now, okay? It's shut the hell up. And then Nintendo, not only that, first of all, there's some stupid-ass third-party shit where they're making their own characters with on their terrible game. Alright, so now it's gonna be oh my god, this is associated, and now we're gonna hear, after the next Zelda, yeah, they should have one starring Linkle and all this other bullshit. It's never gonna go away. Alright?
So, the funny thing is, the people who are complaining they should have this female character in all the other Zelda games...
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. They're still mad that it's called Linkle instead of Link, even though it's technically a separate character. They're still mad that, she's using a bow instead of the sword, and somehow using a bow is more feminine, and, your gender norms and blah, blah, blah. It's sexist for some screwed up reason, they think. And then, hold on. On the flip side, if they just had Link with boobs, they'd just be you didn't do anything different with her. She's just the same character. It's these people you don't win with, so there's no point in trying. But I
think that the ability to choose female Link.
No, see, Eli, this is already wrong. Whatever you're saying, no,
Mike.
Okay, Mike. Mike, let's
boot up Pokemon, and it says, "Are you a boy or girl?" I mean, Link is your character. That's why a lot of people say that he shouldn't be able to speak in the game. And
Mike, wait. Mike, let Eli talk for a second, and then you can talk.
One of the reasons why people say, it's okay to give other Zelda characters a voice, or you shouldn't give Link a voice, is because he's kind of, your representation. And so he's not just this other character. When you go and play Pokemon, it gives you a choice between a boy and a girl. And I mean, sure, this might raise the question like, oh, should you have a male Samus? And
Seamus.
I don't know.
Oh my God, male
But-
Samus, yuck.
But
No, okay, no. This
I
is
get-
turning into the point. Like, why can't you play as who's the ugly,
So-
the not as hot as Chloe in Uncharted, the girl he got with Elena? All right, it's gonna be like, oh, why can't you play as Elena
I don't
or all
think-
that?
well,
No,
I just-
it's not that.
I
It's
don't
not
think
that. It's the
Hyrule
premise.
Warriors. I don't think Hyrule Warriors is the place to introduce. I don't like the name either. I think it should have been female Link.
Say Linkle. You can't.
I kind of just wanted it to be a female Link, but you know, I think Hyrule Warriors is a bad place to do it because you already have like a ton of female characters. I don't think it's as impactful as if, you know, the next big game comes out and there's an option for getting whether you're male or female Link. I mean, won't even affect the story because, you know, Link's and Zelda's story is platonic at best. So, you know,
No, it affects it because it's the premise of the game. It's the nature of the game. Okay, it's been 30 years. Okay, and now we have to have Link as a girl. And the
Mike,
thing is,
this is why we call you conservatives. You want to keep things the same. It's okay. Change is okay.
Change isn't
No,
change
not
isn't
this.
automatically
You know
better.
what? Oh, why don't we?
Let's put that.
Yo,
but
that's like now you want Mario to be in the castle, or you want to play as Maria now. Okay, like that's the kind of stupid shit that Nintendo listens to on the internet from the smallest faction of the earth, and they somehow get their shit, and then it's like, hey, wait, something else is ruined. Fantastic. All right.
okay, so I want to talk for a bit. I think Mike hit a lot of the points I was thinking, but it's a spin-off game, so I don't really care. I mean, the character, it's a cute character. Like, the dual-wielding crossbows thing is cool. Whatever, it's a spin-off game. I'm fine. They want to make their own characters. It's kind of funny. People are, I don't know, it's technically not female Link. It's a separate character. And if you change her outfit from green to red, she would just be Little Red Riding Hood. So, like, it's that flimsy of a Link.
Well, one thing I heard is it might be related to Tingle because of the necklace and all the other shit, but it doesn't matter.
Well,
it's already terrible.
They wanted to make her. They showed off in an art book. They want to make like a female variant of Link, or at least a hero or something, and they wanted to make her like Link's little sister or something. So even then, like, they still didn't want it to be like it's literally Link different. They just wanted like, okay, here he has a sister. Like in Wind Waker, they had Aryll, so it'd basically be like making her playable. But where's my point on here? I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb to be like, oh, let's have female Link in like the next Zelda game, because it's not the same as every other thing. Just because BioWare and Bethesda and other RPGs have a character creator doesn't mean literally every game has to. I get your point, Eli, but with Pokemon, it's supposed to be like every kid is their own trainer and they go on their own adventure sort of thing. Whereas even if Link doesn't talk, it doesn't mean he doesn't have a character on his own. It's also been 30 years. Like, it's kind of stupid to... He's already a well-renowned character. It's kind of dumb to change. It doesn't matter that he doesn't talk. He still has a personality there, whether it's a lot or not. Like, it would be the same as saying, let's change... Like, obviously there's not a Half-Life 3, but assuming there was, it'd be like saying, oh, let's change Gordon Freeman because he doesn't talk, so why does it matter? But it's still a character they made. I don't see the need to change things for the sake of it. It's just dumb. Like, like I wouldn't want a male Samus. That's stupid. But I don't want like a male Lara Croft. That's stupid. Like, she's her own character. Leave her alone. Same with like a male Zelda, or like like a dog version of Master Chief, or a human version of Pac-Man. Like, these people made these characters. Let's leave them as the characters. If you want to make more, I'm fine with that. I wouldn't mind playing a female character in the next Zelda game. One of the things I've been saying for years that I want for this next Zelda, because it's supposedly going to be multiplayer and multiple people playing a dungeon, is that you have Link, Zelda, and like a bunch of other races like Goron, Zors, and whatever, that you can all play in a dungeon, and they all have their own special abilities, kind of like Hyrule Warriors, but more of like that cast in an actual Zelda game. Because we already have a cool female character. We have Zelda, and she already has like her own character traits and whatnot. I'd rather play as her than just be like, well, here's Link, and now Link has boobs for no reason. because some people said so. And the weird thing is, or the thing that kind of bugs me, is that you never hear people going the other way around. You never hear people saying, oh, well, we have this female character, let's make it a male version for some reason, or whatnot. It's because they don't care. These people only want to see, let's make this every other main protagonist female because we said so. Well, no, how about we don't? Just leave it alone. If they want to make a new character, cool, but there's no reason to change it just because.
In this situation, it's really.
I don't like the change for the sake of let's change it. There should be. I was gonna say a reason, but I don't know. It's still his own character. Whatever.
I think in this situation, it's really not a big deal. I mean, the reason there are places like Lara Croft wouldn't work as a guy, and Master Chief wouldn't work as a girl, but that's more because it's fit into the lore. I think with the lore, a female Link would still be canon. It would still work. There's no situation where you could point out and be like, well, had Link been a girl, it wouldn't have worked here.
Yeah, but you could say that the same with...
That whole game is based off how Link is a male, and he affects not only Ocarina of Time, all his interaction with women there. Don't forget Link's Awakening, okay? Freaking Minish Cap, okay? It's all these things actually work in the way that Link's a male in subtle hints. Not oh my god, I'm in love with you, you know what I mean? Save me. But more in the way of their interaction and their relationship works better as a male hero to a female, and that kind of thing.
I don't think the story would really lose anything.
But the same thing, you could say the same thing for let's reboot Lara Croft, but now she's male instead. You could make whatever reasons you want for it, if you really want to change it.
But I don't think Tomb Raider would be as impactful in these new games if it was a man. I mean,
but
they're
why?
trying to.
Because you're trying to make the reason for switching a male to a female.
The gender norms, you don't. You take the regular.
It doesn't matter. Lara Croft just comes from a archaeologist family with their parents dead. Who cares now if it's male or female? But it makes a big thing because she's cool and she's badass, and she's always been the Tomb Raider. You know what I mean? For me, I wouldn't want to change her. Okay, I'm not one of those guys who are oh, we need always male guys. Like Matt says, why change a character that already has not only its own background?
I don't think the experience loses anything in that case. Whereas in other cases it does. I don't think there's any damage done per se to the story, and it doesn't really take the developer all that much effort. Now,
if Ganon was a female, you'd be fine with that? 'Cause that's different also. Ganon, when you think Ganon and what he does, you think of evil, imposing, madman with power. You know what I mean? That's the kind of image he is. That's how it is. I can't see Ganon as a female at all. Even if it's oh no, it's just a reincarnated demise.
But that's the difference. I don't think anyone could really see Ganon as a female, and that's kind of.
Well, you just said you go plug and play. It's just lines. Nobody speaks. They don't.
I did not say. I did not say it was just lines. I said if it doesn't detract from the experience, and I don't think making Link a girl detracts from the experience. I think making Ganon a woman would. I mean, I think the lore is there to the point where it would make an impactful effect on the experience. I don't know. Uno, which side do you...
Yeah, I can go both ways on this. I have a lot. I have to kind of check myself on this a little bit because my first instinct is a little bit this is kind of unnecessary PC rewriting. But then I do step back from it and admit that of all Nintendo's franchises, the two that do seem to resonate outside kind of the more dominant male kind of culture of video games are Zelda and Mario. Mario. Trying to correct that the way I say that permanently. I'll never be able to do it. Yeah.
It's the thought that counts.
I mean, yeah, Mario. Yeah, but I know why they're doing it. They are trying to reach that. I mean, the name is so insanely stupid, I can barely bring myself to say it. That's why I keep saying it on here. It's Linkle. It's so stupid, it's unbelievable. I kind of, if they're gonna do it, I'm of the mindset, just make it a so to speak, transgendered character that is whatever. You can pick male or female when you start. and the story could be tailored, appropriately. Since there's not really much of a love story between Zelda and Link in most games, they could tailor it just enough that it fit either way, or not. Since they could just go a completely wild direction with that. Not going to go there, not going to touch it, but they could. Hey, if they wanted to, they're not gonna. But I don't know. It feels a little forced to me. I kind of groaned a little bit. First reaction, can't lie. I was a little bit like, oh God, like why, really, But then I stepped back, thought about it, and I am trying to, be a little hospitable to the idea that like, hey, there is something there. We didn't grow up like this, playing games where this is a big issue. But as sometimes things need to change a little bit. So I'll try to be positive about it. I mean, that name's got to go. If they start like producing, the next Wii U Zelda, and the title screen you can pick, the start screen you can pick Link or Linkle.
Well, you can just rename them anyway.
Yeah, true that.
I mean, nobody. The thing is, for me, like nobody's making you play as a female Link. You could still play as the male one, and it literally all the effort it takes Nintendo is creating a new character model to plug into place. Because there's no voice recording that needs to be done or anything like that. It's literally the effort of one extra character model. Yeah. I don't think it does any damage to any of the Zelda lore.
I think there's something there. I mean, that they probably have to address, and they're addressing it their own way, whether or not it's a little like kind of forced, in my opinion. It's fair.
It's fair. A lot better than Triforce Heroes Link putting on a Zelda costume.
No, that's fun. I'd rather have
that's a little weird.
But you know what? If you want to do that, let it make its own series. Do the old classic, like make from the Zelda developers and all.
The Legend of Linkle.
Yeah, let that go and see how I watch it flop, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. Like I'm fine with that. Let them get their little own girl game, and then boom, it'll blow. I'm a nice guy. I'll let them get its own series, and then
I don't know. I'm of the mind that you don't need to change things for the sake of changing things. Crap, I was going to say something else.
It doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about...
Basically, like, I don't think every adventure game has to have a choice between characters just because it's an adventure. They can, if they want to stick with one gender, I'm fine with that. If they want to put a character creator in it, I'm fine with that, but it's already established. It just bugs me because people are just trying to push things just so they can get it, and then they don't care about it anyway, and then I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just the way of
it's
just the way of people prodding other people like I want this, and then they don't really want this, and then they go somewhere else, and all that's left is like, wow, you just bugged a bunch of people. Also, the last thing is people are like, oh, well, we need more of this or that because some people can't identify as that or what. It's like if you need a character that's literally you before you can sympathize with it, then you really have no sympathy, because how do you sympathize with anyone in real life if they're not a spitting image of you? It's just stupid.
That's an interesting point you raised, because
that's why I like leave Lara Croft female, because she's cool. I don't want a male Bayonetta, not just because I don't want to play a game with a male stripper, but like it's it's as hilarious as that would be, because it's an established character. Like just leave it be. I'd rather have, if they have playable characters, have Link and Zelda team up and fight. Anyway, you were gonna say one last thing.
I was just gonna say, we don't look at like books and say, hey, can someone rewrite Catcher of the Rye so it's a girl?
Yeah,
that's an interesting.
Oh well, that's a terrible book, but I mean, they just need to rewrite the whole thing.
That's crazy. Like up next on the literary podcast, Mike is nuts. All right.
Okay. Well, we want to talk about good books. You read The Great Gatsby or Harry Potter. Okay,
hey,
if you want to read
Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Backing away from the microphone. Good God!
I just want to. Okay, let me just
bringing up a whore to the top floor.
I don't think this would turn into an argument. Because
Holden Caulfield.
But for me, it's just like it's not relevant to me. I don't really care personally. Mm-hmm. I don't know why people are vehemently against. I can understand why people could be very much for the adding in not forcefully adding a female option. I mean, for me, it's like, if it doesn't affect me, which it really doesn't, I'm not like one of those people that's going to be ravenously for adding a female Zelda or Link, because I just really don't care. But I don't see, it's kind of, and I hate to draw this parallel, it's kind of like with gay marriage. It's like, I don't really care if they do it. Like, I'm really for equality, and it really doesn't affect me if other people get married. So in this case, it really doesn't affect me if they add another option. I don't know. Like, I'm not of the mind to be against it.
That's fair. That's well put. Freedom should involve something for everybody, I suppose. That's an interesting way to wrap that, I guess.
Cool. Yeah, I just don't want everything to be like, well, if someone gets angry, then we always have to change it, and everything, I don't know, every adventure game has to be like the same. It's like, well, no, how about, I don't know, just...
I get that, but I'm just not...
I just don't think every adventure game has to follow the same footsteps as everything else, basically. Because then that just breeds... I forget the right word for it, but whatever. It would just water everything down to be the same.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's not like... I don't care enough about it for me to be a vocal opponent or proponent, because it's not relevant to me as much.
That's fair. I think we'll end that conversation there. There's not too much. I'll just kind of zip through it, and if there's anything interesting. Triforce Heroes is getting free DLC, and then I think there might be paid coming later. Some Splatoon maps, gear, and balances are coming up all the way up until January. Some maps were released. I didn't really get to play it. They're going to have a tournament and whatnot. The only new thing I could see, like actually new that hasn't been made somewhere else, was Pokemon Picross. And I don't think anyone really cares for that.
It's free to play anyway.
What about not F-Zero?
What?
What about not F-Zero, whatever that game was called?
Nanosol Neo, we've known about that for a solid amount of time.
I felt like we talked about it. Is that like the first gameplay Nintendo talked about? Or
no, I think they've shown it before.
To all systems?
It might have been in a reel before. It was definitely the E3 reel.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, at least someone's making an F-Zero game when Nintendo's not. There's more amiibo coming, etc. Japan is going to get Mother 3 on December 17th when the Lucas amiibo comes out, so maybe a couple of months down the line we'll be getting it. Another thing I forgot about the Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow things is Japan, of course, always gets lucky, and they're actually getting a retail copy with a cartridge that looks like the old Game Boy cartridge, and a book as well. I'm like, and a box. I'm like, this is so much cooler. How dare they?
That's interesting.
Yeah. That'd been so awesome.
Yeah, they're getting the red, green, yellow boxes.
Yeah. Shadow Mewtwo is coming to Pokken Tournament. He's going to have a card in the first run copies. You can just play him earlier. You can still beat him in the game and get him. Mario and Luigi Paper Jam is coming in January, so, Mike, you don't have to worry about waiting 6 months for it to come later down the line.
Oh, finally.
Yeah,
I heard
it's
people
coming out December, I think.
Vibes. I've heard some negative vibes for it. Is that a worldwide release for everybody in December?
No. I think Europe is getting it in December, and then we are getting it January.
What happened to why don't things come out at the same time?
I don't know.
Xenoblade's been out for 3 years already for the Wii U, for everyone else.
Well, that they at least had to translate. This one's technically in English. It's just not our English, whatever. I don't get it, but whatever. Mega Man Legacy Collection, it comes with a gold Mega Man amiibo. That's kind of neat, if you really want a gold Mega Man amiibo. And one of the more shocking things is that people weren't sure if the Dragon Quest games were going to be ported over here because they were in Japan for a year or so. But we are getting Dragon Quest 7 and 8 next year for the 3DS. That wasn't really a huge thing for me. Maybe I'll get into it. It looks kind of interesting. But I know that was big for a lot of people. So yeah, that's cool. They did have, like I said, they did have some things like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow and Dragon Quest and whatnot, but that were big to smaller groups of people. Maybe not me or the general populace, but yeah, overall, I don't know. I wasn't too excited about it. But I think we can end the podcast there. We've been talking quite a long while. So you can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And Eli, where can people find you?
Palasan on Twitter and my IGN. Also read my work at NintendoEnthusiast.com.
Cool.
About to review Amiibo Festival. Spoiler, it's terrible. Terrible, please don't buy it.
Yeah. I don't think anyone was interested in that, to be honest, once they showed the trailer. It's like,
I totally wanted. Is Animal Crossing going to go out of business now? Is that like going to happen?
No, they're
soon?
probably developing a full one for the NX.
So, Mike, where can people check you
out? So Troy Fullbuster on Twitter and Twitch, and then Gaming Night Live on YouTube. And right now, I don't know, GNL's been on the hold though because I have to do all the work. But yeah, so if you need your Smash fix, look me up.
Yeah, and definitely check out his Nobody Explodes. I forget the whole title, but Nobody Explodes bomb gameplay. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. I watched that one. I asked my friend if we can download that at his house and play it on his Steam on his computer.
Oh yeah, it's a great game. Like I cannot not recommend that game enough. Like you guys are gonna be playing for hours. Like I was talking to Mark after. Now I just remembered Matt's comment where I was like, "Don't be a bitch, Mark." Yeah. Anytime I play the game, it's one of those. Just one more, man. And then it keeps going on, or you fail. Like it's hard to walk away when you win, and it's hard to walk away when you lose. So that's how you know you made a good game. But yeah, when you play the game, you're all in. I don't look at the book when I'm not playing. So definitely download it, play with your friend. Hours will go by. So I mean, if you want a good night, like legitimately bring over a few friends. Like I was gonna bring over now.
Sorry, could you
Joey
say that
might
again?
come back. We're gonna do
for
bomb battles. We have an extra
You're
press
talking
code,
about the bomb game,
and we're just gonna have it going off on 2 different computers and see who could defuse different bombs at the same time. And it's always different too. It's not the same bomb, so they generate differently every time.
Neat. I look forward to it. It does look hilarious. It was mainly your video that made me want to play it because it looks like the kind of thing me and my friend could really get into together and have a good laugh. So, sweet.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks guys for watching, and tell me how it is. If either of you guys, if any of you guys get it, freaking get it and play it. Like I can't not recommend it enough. All right.
Yeah. I want to get it, but I have no one to play with. And
doesn't matter. Skype it.
I was thinking, like, I wonder if it would work with Skype, like, with me and you, Unoclay, where one of us is playing the game and the other person's, like, reading off the manual and we're talking via Skype. Technically you could.
Yeah, but, okay, the other thing I was going to say was my next janky game is probably The Floor is Lava. I don't know if it'll be ready yet, but that's going to be my next what the hell is he playing kind of game.
Huh. I'm thinking is it a kid just jumping around on furniture?
I don't know. It kind of looks like the same engine from the I Am Bread thing. Like it's been in the works for a while, but I've been keeping my eyes out for it. So yeah, there's a preview up on Steam for that. So like, if you guys ever need like some stupid game you never heard of, like that's what I'm looking for all the time. So
cool. So Unoclay, where can people find you?
Mainly, you'll find me on IGN at Unoclay1, where I like to make like pithy comments on other people's posts. And, I just posted a blog just today, but it's mainly just pictures from my trip to the arcade. And anybody out there that's listening that likes playing games on Wii U or 3DS, co-op or competitively, hit me up with a friend request. I'm Unoclay, no one. On IGN, I'm Unoclay1. And on the Nintendo systems, I'm just Unoclay. So hit me up with a friend request. I got a couple slots left. So
cool.
Thanks a lot.
So wherever you're listening, folks, you can find us at Just Another Castle on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, Podomatic, and IGN. You can drop us a question there to read on the podcast or at justanothercastle@gmail.com. And if you want to be a guest, you can message me on Twitter at TheMangoViking. So see you next time and leave gaming to Nintendo.